Hello, I'm Richardson again. We are on chapter 7. We're on video 7 of my book, I Am is Greater Than I Was, From Identity Lost to Purpose Found. Hopefully you guys have been learning and growing throughout this video series and applying the principles that I've been sharing and truthfully answering those questions to better achieve those goals, that vision that you have set for yourself, but most importantly, to understand what your purpose is and to find your identity. Now chapter 7 was a meaningful chapter to me. Them two words from the greatest basketball player that ever lived, Michael Jordan, when he came out of retirement, he didn't even give a big old press conference. He said, sent out a fax machine. Some of y'all don't even know what a fax machine is, right? But this little document through this machine, and the two words just said, I'm back. And just like that, MJ came back, tore the NBA league apart, you know what I'm saying, won 3 more championships and retired one of the greatest basketball players of all time, right? You know, you may be debating, oh, it's LeBron James. Nah, Michael Jordan is the GOAT, right? But this chapter, I want to share some of the principles from this chapter. I'm back, all right, you guys? I want you to ask yourself, what gets you up in the morning? We're going to cut to the chase. What wakes you up in the morning? What gets you up? I know you may have to go to school, you may have to go to work, but at the end of the day, what's your motivation to get up in the morning? Because this question is rooted into understanding what your purpose is, what you're grinding for, you know what I'm saying? What you're meant to be, right? So what gets you up in the morning? You know, second question, what's your source of motivation? Is it for your family? Is it for your kids? Is it for you, for your friends? Is it for, who gets you up in the morning? What gets you up in the morning? But what is your source of motivation? For me, my motivation is that I want to be one of the greatest speakers this world has ever seen, right? That is my motivation. That's what gets me up in the morning. So I'm reading, I'm watching videos, I'm constantly sharing content because I want to perfect my craft, because I want to be the greatest speaker that this world has ever seen. Not because I don't think there's other great speakers, but that's just the goal and the vision I set out for myself. I want to make an impact in my community and in the world, right? And so I want you to also ask, what currently drives you to make your daily choices and decisions? Because again, the small decisions that we make throughout the day is either going to allow us to achieve our goals and visions, or is going to set us back in those goals and the dreams that we have set for ourselves. All right. So I also want you to remember that you can change your circumstances, right? You are not defined by your circumstances. That's number one. But regardless of the circumstances that you're in, you can always change them, right? But in order to do this, the change has to begin with you, you guys. Again, it goes back to you being a star. Stop blaming other people for your decisions. Stop blaming your circumstances. At the end of the day, yes, you are in this current situation. You are in this circumstance, but that change needs to begin with you first. All right. Yes, I'm in this situation. I'm in this circumstance. But at the end of the day, what changes can I make to change the circumstance that I'm in? If you're living in the ghetto, guess what? What changes can I make within myself to get myself out of the hood, right? And how can I bring my family and my friends along with me to see that there's a better life out there than the current circumstance and situation I'm living in, right? And remember, bad habits stem from a void of something lacking in your experience. For me, it was anger. It was me not knowing who I was. It was me hearing those words, I was a mistake. And because of that, I created a lot of bad habits because there was something missing in my life. I just needed affirmation. I just needed to be heard that I was loved and that I was appreciated, that I'm not a failure, that I'm more than my mistakes, right? That I've been created for something greater than my current situation. And because I did not receive that in my life experience, right? I developed bad habits because at the end of the day, it was all stemming from something that was lacking in my life. Lastly, one of the major principles, you may not understand it now, but you're going to understand it as you get older. I want you to really simplify your life. What does that mean? You don't need all the fat and the trimmings, right? Simplify your life. What are the necessities of your life, right? You don't need everything, right? You may want everything, but you don't need everything. What are the essentials that you need in your life to maximize your goal, your potential to reach your vision and your goals? So I want you to really simplify your life. So here's some questions I want to ask you as we conclude chapter 7, right? What part of the story do you relate with in this chapter, right? What did I share about in this chapter that you could relate to? Second question, have you ever been driven by the entertainment of life instead of the purpose you were created to be? I know I have. I was looking at my favorite rappers. I'm like, yo, is that life? If it's about pouring champagne and going to the club and throwing out money, then yeah, I want that life. But in reality, that's not what I was created to be, right? Life was far more than just popping champagnes and throwing money in the club and trying to vicariously live this fantasy in my life through the rappers and the videos that I was watching, right? So have you ever been driven by the entertainment of life instead of living by your purpose that you was created to be? If so, write down your answer. Last question, right? What are some keys to making life simple and fulfilling without having to compromise the person you were created to be? How can you simplify your life without compromising principles that you've established for yourself, right? The principles that your family, your teachers, the influencers in your life has embedded in you, right? Ingrained in you. What are some keys to making your life simple? I want you to really answer that question and work towards that. All right, you guys, that is conclusion of chapter number 7. I will see you in chapter 8. Peace.